you guys.
Hi.
Whew, here we are. It's Friday. Just gonna let a few of you join. We've got Violet and, well, me and Violet today. Oh, so many nice faces. All these names, you guys are really...
It's been a rough few weeks.
Yeah, it has.
We're sad.
Yeah.
Very heavy few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Hi, guys. Oh, thanks for being here.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for all your support. You guys have been so supportive.
So many sweet messages. And
so many messages and your comments, and they're really helping our family, so we appreciate it.
I know you guys are sad too. That's why we kind of have to do this together. We'll probably never stop doing tributes to Suzanne because she's had such an impact on all of our lives. But you know, it's a obviously this is like a time when we're just focusing on paying our respect to her and just letting her know how much we love her and how much we appreciate her. We are planning a memorial for the family and close friends that will be at the end of the month. I'm hoping that we are going to be able to have someone there to share it with you guys, but that's up to Alan. And we're just kind of taking it, we're taking it day by day. But listen, Alan is doing really well, as you could see from last week. Or last week, that was 2 days ago, sorry. He's doing much better than we expected. And he's just really enjoying all the family time, as I think all of us are, as any family does when they go through this. And today, you guys you're also part of our family. You're part of our extended family, and it gave Suzanne so much joy to spend all of this time with you. So it's obviously been a really difficult transition for us, because while she was while her health started to decline this year, they chose to be private about that. And I hope you understand why, because for Suzanne, she didn't want any of her time here spent grieving and mourning like this. And as any of you know who have had a serious illness, it's a lot when people call you and, you know, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's a lot. You end up kind of holding other people up. And it's
too chaotic too. It's not like, you need quiet energy for healing, and
right. And you need positivity.
Yeah,
and
you just need it quiet.
Like mostly she just wanted positivity.
Yeah.
So we really tried to mirror that for her, because that's what she wanted. We never talked about, what if she didn't make it? She was always ready to pull that next rabbit out of a hat, because she did it so many times. Yeah. She really did it so many times. So, they certainly never discussed it. It was always like, she just kept saying, I'm going to win. And then I'm going to write a book about this. Like, she was ready to write book number 28 about beating this.
She was ready to do another Vegas tour, go on Broadway.
She was.
She called me one day and she said, when I'm 85.
80. No, it was 80.
Oh, 80. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be doing my show in Vegas. Yeah, and it'll mean a lot.
Yeah. So, listen, you guys have seen how we have, tried to manage through this. Whenever she was feeling up to it, she wanted to be here with you. Really? And towards the end, it just started becoming difficult communication-wise. And you guys could see that. And, people were saying like, she doesn't sound like herself, or, and that was the advancing issues that she was dealing with. She had like that water on the brain, and so it was it was a difficult time, but she really wanted to be here as much as she could, hanging out with you guys. So I know a lot of you understand, and most of you, and you guys are the ones that I'm speaking to. You guys know who you are. There are always some people who were like, who are you? And you're just trying to profit off her name. We're like, oh my God.
But there aren't that many people who do that,
they're
honestly.
not. They're not.
Just, my mom has so much pride in our family. She
It's just
wants
like
to protect.
Yeah,
no, but you want to protect. I understand, because you've done so much to protect her and keep her business thriving despite. And
well, but it's also, you know, I think each person has the right to say whatever they feel comfortable saying. So there were times where I was, you know, not saying more because that was, you know, that was how they wanted to do it. And so I never lied to anyone. I just couldn't tell you the whole story. And that was, you know, that was what they asked us to do. And they asked us to continue. You are cracking up a storm.
Well, because
wow.
It's, you know, we have to squish into this frame.
Yeah, are you
so
okay?
It's kind of there. That's better.
That was like a really good neck crack. I wish mine would.
My shoulder.
Wow, have you always been able to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But listen, so, you know, yes, of course there is tremendous sadness, but tremendous sadness because the love is so great. It's just like there's so much to celebrate, and we have been celebrating a lot in the last couple of weeks. We really have. We have been celebrating a lot, and you know, I can see all of your comments the same. Like it's, you know, there's deep sadness, but like what an impact this woman left, like in so many different fields. Like I was saying to Alan, I said, you know, I mean, she had probably, you could say 5 careers that any
Maybe
one of
more.
which would have been, she would have been a huge success if she just had her acting career, or if she just had her career as an author, or just as a person who lectured on health issues, or just had a website, or just had a Vegas residency. Like all of those things, she would have been considered a major. She had talk shows. So to have done all of that at the same time, and mostly just to have been this spectacular wife and mother. I mean, I think I just counted 6 careers. But anyway, she's left a lot for us to, she's left an imprint, of course, on all of us, all the teachings that she's given, and I'm talking to you guys and to us. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to carry on with her messages and all the things that were important to her, and we will continue hanging out here with you guys if you'll have us. So,
Yeah.
Anything you want to say, V?
No, I don't want to get emotional, but
I mean, you can. This is kind of.
No, it's just really sad. It's just been a really sad, heavy few weeks. It's like if I ever questioned, which I didn't, but if I ever was questioning how much she meant to me, it's like this has really proven it. I mean, I personally saw where things were going for a little bit, and so but it's still shocking when it happens, and it's just sad. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I'm just sad.
I mean,
I've been, you know, all the great things too, all the beautiful memories and how she's impacted everyone, and then it's like, you know, a lot of that at first, and then the news dies down a little bit and life begins to move on a little bit, and I think that's the part that's been a little harder for me, is just kind of this lingering, like,
there are a lot of
sadness.
phases of grief.
Yeah, it's just, but I've already connected with her from the other side, and I definitely know she's watching me, and I feel her energy a lot right now, like almost more than ever. Yeah.
A lot of people saw your interview where you talked about the butterflies. Can you tell them about it?
I've seen multiple every day. I've seen multiple yellow. I asked her to visit me as a yellow butterfly, and I've seen multiple every day. And I've been wondering, have there always been this many, or did I just not see them? And there was one right as I was turning to come onto my street, there was one literally right on, okay, it had died, which maybe that's not the best thing, but there was one literally right at my turn before I drive onto the street of my house, on the street, like on the
There was a
tar.
dead butterfly?
Yeah, there was. Maybe that's not the best thing, but I'm just saying I thought it was still her being like, hee hee. But there also, I've seen flocks of them, like I saw like a flock of 5 yellow butterflies the other day.
You know that's how she always said that her mom came to visit
But
her.
I thought her mom just came as any butterfly.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. So
I mean, a lot of us
I
get the
was
signs through
specific.
butterflies. I mean,
But I think
we're
you have
not
to
going to get it
ask.
through flies.
You have to ask what, like, for the sign you want sometimes, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
So I definitely feel her with me, and I have felt a major shift in my life since she's gone, because I think sometimes when somebody leaves Earth, you can see their life just in a different perspective, and that has been inspiring me so much in my own personal journey and things that I want to overcome myself. And so I've definitely turned a new leaf, and I'm very inspired, and I feel her on my back, like encouraging me. It's special.
I think also it was such a long, slow decline that I think, for me at least, I think it lifted, all of that lifted. Like I notably felt like, okay, she's out of pain. Yeah. She is able to use her full body again. She's able to use her full voice again. Her brain is snapping like this. Like, I felt that lift energetically. And I don't think when something happens over a long period and it's a long, slow decline, and she never ever complained. She never complained.
She didn't.
She'd just be like, oh, well, I really can't use my hand, or my legs are not great today, whatever it was.
She was still drinking out of a Baccarat glass.
For the longest time.
She couldn't use her hand.
We were like, maybe a lighter
Sandy,
glass, and she loved that glass.
all on the edge of our seat while her hand was holding the glass.
She loved
Sandy,
that glass.
Don't use the glass.
It's so heavy, too. That is a heavy
so
glass.
heavy. She's I'm fine.
Yeah.
She didn't want that much help, honestly.
She really didn't.
I don't think she liked the state she was in.
No, and she never talked about pain.
No.
Like Bruce asked her, he said, Mom, are you in pain? And only one time I heard her say, so much it's not even worth talking about.
Oh, that's so sad.
She never complained. She's like, you know what? I wake up and I'm happy. I've got, great food, and I've got Alan here, and I've got this beautiful love, and I've got my great family. Like, she really, to be able to focus on the gratitude all the way until the end it's pretty amazing. Yes, she was in a physical rehab center, Stacy. That, like I say, I omitted
She
things,
was, yeah,
but she was in a rehabilitation
No one's
facility
lying
for the
to you
last
guys.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because she was trying to get more mobility back at that time. So, when she came home, she'd only been home for a day before she passed. So things started to, take a turn while she was away, and we were certainly eager to get her back home. So Alan did get her back home, and we went out there immediately, and Bruce and Leslie and I were able to see her on Saturday, and it was really clear at that point that she was in a really, really diminished state. And we got to see her that night. Bruce and I spent the night there. Leslie went home. We were all gathering on Sunday to celebrate her birthday, so I had food, and we had everything all organized to have a party so that the family could, finally see her, because she'd been gone. And she passed that night. Alan came in at 6 a.m. and said, she's gone. So the rest of the family was already on their way, and we, it was obviously a devastating and sad time for us to be together, but we were so grateful that she was out of pain. And, I got right to work, started making lunch for everyone, because I brought the birthday lunch, and I literally cut off my finger. And ended up at the urgent care, like wrapped in a kitchen towel. It was chaotic and a little nutty, but we were all there together and able to take care of one another, and you know, really grateful that we were there with Alan to be supportive for him. Yeah, there's someone here saying you were a hospice worker. Lucky to have those final moments with her. I think she absolutely stayed alive to see Bruce. I think she waited until she got home.
And Leslie.
Yeah. So, she was at that facility for about 6 weeks. Was her walking problem part of her decline? Yes. So when you have issues like that with hydrocephalus, that the water on the brain, it can affect all of your motor functions. And then she also had that horrible fall and had broken her neck, which affected her nerves, which affected her hand. So it was all kind of working toward the same, the same conclusion. But they were still working on miracles all the way until the end. She literally, there have been a lot of things printed. Some are true, some are not true. But she literally used the best of conventional and alternative medicine. She was truly integrative. She went at this every single way that was possible. And I think that's why she survived for so long. She survived for 23 years with a really aggressive form of breast cancer. And, to me, that is winning. She kept saying, I'm going to win. And we're like, you've already won. She got to see you guys grow up.
Yeah.
She was diagnosed like you were a baby. You were 3 years old. And she got to see you grow up to be, a full-grown young woman.
Yeah.
Did she ever speak about a dream just before she passed or felt God in her presence? She always felt God in her presence, and especially, in these years as she was declining, she talked to God every day. She was very, very close to God.
She's very spiritual.
Yeah, really spiritual.
Old soul, very mystical woman. In her own way.
And she told Bruce too. We were out there visiting before she left to go to the rehab facility, one of those lunches that we were having together. And she said, Bruce said, Mom, what do you think about when it's just you, what do you think about? And she said, I'm dreaming a lot. And he said, you mean at night or daydreaming? And she said, both. And he said, what do you dream about? And she said, I'm with you. And to me, it was like she was already experiencing what it's like to be with your loved ones when you're in a different plane. And I think whether or not we know it, I believe that when our souls are preparing for the conclusion of this life here and transcending to whatever that other place is, I think she was already experiencing that. And knowing that she could be with Bruce and all of us in another way. So some of you have DM'd me to tell me that, you felt like she was with you in one way. One of you sent me the cutest video of your dog, she ordered a book and Zanny's recipe book showed up and the dog wouldn't stop sniffing it and licking it, licking the cover. She's like, I don't know what my dog is doing.
That's so sweet.
I know. So, anyway, it's a very sweet and, of course sad. And there are some days where it isn't until you really slow down that then you feel the gravity of it. I have not slowed down yet. My girls make fun of me because they're like, you just with your list, got to get this done. So maybe in a month.
In some senses, none of us have, just because, you've been doing the most work, but we've all, then it's just been a crazy month in general. So it's and also her being a public person, immediately when we all found out, so did the world. So it was wonderful to have so many amazing messages and incredible outpouring, but at the same time, I think we're still getting used to what it's going to be like without her.
Yeah, and I think also feeling a responsibility to her legacy to make sure that what got out there was correct. And that's why...
and my mom's done an amazing job of that.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, there's a whole team of people who are working on it, but...
I know, but you're leading the troops. Like, it's really hard in that state when you just find out that your loved one has passed to jump into motion like that.
Right,
and
we
my
have to,
mom
get
was
a statement out to the press.
immediately in service, like being of service to her is really special to watch. Yeah, it's true.
And also, I think it's been really therapeutic for Alan to do interviews and talk to people, which has been, and for Bruce, I'm seeing Bruce kind of this week. He's tired. He's tired this week. So we'll take good care of him. We're going to go out next week. That we've been rotating with Alan. So I think Zion's there with him this weekend. And next week, Bruce and I are going to go out and we'll do a cooking show with Alan next week. We're going to make sure Alan is back at Big Al's bar with you guys because he really loves that. And I think it'll just be good for him just to tell stories. And, we won't make him, he's not going to do the business stuff, but he'll do the, if he wants to, he can. But, just to share stories, and he loves talking about
He's been telling us a lot of great stories.
A couple new ones, too.
Yeah.
Even Daddy said they were talking. He was like, "I haven't heard that story."
That's funny.
Yeah, that's good. Well, Alan loves you guys too, so he's ready to hang out with you guys.
Got to adjust here.
Are you okay?
So yeah, it's not the most comfortable. Maybe you can go in front.
You want to switch? Where do you want to be? Oh, you just want to be both.
All right, I just need
Gotcha.
a little back support.
Oh, there you go. So anyway, do you guys have is there anything you want to share or anything you want to ask us about? We love you too, Pam. Thank you. So we are going to, I think like next week, we're talking about softly coming back to our normal schedule. Yes, we will keep the business going, Dan.
That's what she wanted.
Yeah, we've been doing this for about a year now, and she did say that she wanted to make sure that you guys still had your great products, and so that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep doing what we've been doing, and Violet is going to be here helping me, and Bruce comes in, and Camellia, and Daisy, and from time to time we'll get Bruce. We'll rotate through, and we'll have Violet in here. We'll have Alan in here at least once a week with you. We'll get down there and be with him. So, it takes a lot of people to run a business. Suzanne was always our out front person, and no one will ever replace her in doing that. There will never be anyone as dynamic and beautiful and educated and well researched and entertaining, and we will bring it to you in a different way, but we'll continue. The team behind developing her products and bringing them to you is the same, and that is intact. So the foundation of what you've always had does remain intact, and it's obviously a different presentation without having Suzanne. And for some people, that'll just be like, Suzanne's not here, I'm out, and we totally understand and respect that. But we're gonna do our best in our own way to keep it going.
Someone was asking about Gloria, if she was there. Gloria has been savior pet for my grandfather.
She really has.
She, because pets do know, and so she's been sleeping right next to him, right by his head, or on his arm, which she never used to do.
Yeah, and we have this little bundle. Could you even? She's so tired. Are you kidding? I agree. I am so happy, Patricia, that she left so many videos. And I think that's exactly what I was talking about in terms of feeling the pain and suffering that she was feeling toward the end of her life. being able to see her in her prime with all of these tributes and memorials and video, and to hear her brain, you know, firing. She's just so smart and so wise and so funny. And so being able to look back at all of that and have so much on record, like, it's crazy how much footage there is of her. And I have really been getting lost in it for sure, and I'm pulling together another couple videos for her memorial that I will definitely share with you guys. But
no, go on.
no, go ahead.
That's what was cool for me, because I've always known my grandma as Zanny, and I knew that she was, you know, had this whole career, and, you know, I knew about it, but I wasn't around in the Three's Company years. I wasn't around when she was coming up. So for me, what's been really cool is, you know, Zanny was just Zanny to me, and getting to see some of her public life and old videos and everything, and seeing how she carried herself so gracefully through, you know, interviews and her own press, and just the messaging that she was putting out there, even at a very young age, how smart and kind of above her time she was, has been really inspiring to me as a young woman.
Yeah, and she really, I mean, you know, we were talking about that Johnny Carson, that first appearance on Johnny Carson. Like, where did she pull that confidence from?
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy.
It's very impressive. And a lot of her younger interviews, it's like there's something very mystical about her drive and her power of manifestation. And she created the life she wanted. And I think that's what has been so inspiring to me about my grandmother, is that my grandmother was this little girl in an alcoholic family who had a dream, and she got everything she wanted in life. She dreamed about having a house with a swimming pool. She dreamed about
headlining in Vegas.
Yeah, headlining in Vegas, being a star, being a comedy actress.
Broadway,
writing books. She dreamed about all these things, and having a family, and having you know, grandchildren, and traveling. Like, she had a full life. She got everything she wanted, besides a few more years. I think she would have liked a little more time on Earth, but other than that,
I mean, it's so true, because I think, and we all believe this too, we thought Suzanne would be 100 years old in a white blonde, you know, ponytail all the way down her back, doing yoga in her organic garden. And that felt like that would be the right ending for the way that she lived her life. So the fact that it didn't end that way, she never believed it, because she was like, this can't be happening to me. Like, this, how could this?
She had a very powerful
I
mind.
eat right, and I think right, and I'm using all the best medicine that's out there, plus all the alternative things to enhance my immune system, and this isn't supposed to be my ending. But we don't know everything in this lifetime.
We all have our own plan.
Yeah, and I mean, I like to think that God just felt like her life had been fulfilled here, and that time to bring her home. I mean, those are the mysteries of this life that we're never going to know on this side.
Even just her, you know, getting married and pregnant at a young age, and then getting divorced, and having her second marriage be the love of her life. That certainly happens to some people, but it's you don't always hear about it these days. So she really was so fulfilled in all areas of life. It's just like you said, it's not how she expected to go, and I think that's what kept her around for so long, because I don't think she even let the thought creep into her mind of what could have happened. Like, no. She was not. Someone asked me, what's the best piece of advice Suzanne gave you? I'm trying to think.
I mean, to me, she just, whatever your absolute dream was, she felt you had the potential to achieve it.
Yeah.
And she was constantly trying to knock out any negative voices that we all have in our head about what we look like, or what our capabilities are, or how smart we are, or whatever we think is holding us back. She was just always telling us to blast through that.
She was the
and
opposite
if you could
of a
believe
victim.
it,
yeah.
Yes.
Like, think about what she went through in her young life, in her youth. I mean, against all odds, she came out and chased her dream and hustled. it was a full decade before she landed Three's Company, which was her breakout role, and I think one of the first times she actually had stable income too.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was hustling for a full day. She never stopped chasing her dream. And
she just also kept reinventing.
Exactly.
She's like, when life gives you an obstacle, like, what can you learn from it? How can you grow from it? And that's the part of her that I will always try to keep that spirit alive, because I mean, think about all the ups and downs that she had in her career, in her life. She just kept barreling back, and none of us are spared from those obstacles. It doesn't matter, who you are or what you have. We are not spared from numerous challenges. So she always taught us just to, get up and put on your battle gear and go fight for what you want, whether that was health or success or, a dream, whatever it was. She worked hard. You also can't underestimate just how hard she worked.
I mean, workhorse.
Yeah, and I mean, to a place where, you knew it. She was trying to overcome something. It was all those years of her dad, when he was drinking, telling her that she was going to amount to nothing. And I'm so grateful for her that she got, I think 13 years with her dad while he was sober. And she, got to hear him apologize for those years. I mean, he had a disease, and she knew that, and she forgave him.
I think so much of the kind of advice that I have also taken from my grandmother, and that we can all learn, wasn't necessarily something she said, but it was just in observing her and how she was. Down to, when we would come, when we would all come to the house, she was such an incredible host, such a gracious host. Like, always, what do you need? What can I get you? And she really knew how to share too, which is something I love about her. She was very generous with her heart, with all of you, and she was very generous even with her material things, and always letting us go into her closet and try on her clothes and play with all her jewelry. And she was very, very generous and very feminine, sweet soul.
Her sister, Maureen, I talk to her frequently. Like all of us, she has her days where she's just filled with love and gratitude and celebration, and she has other days where she's just sad and full of sorrow. And it's a journey, and we're actually going to have a memorial for Suzanne up at Maureen's house as well, because they have a huge family up north, and it just made it easier for all of us to go up there so that we could have everyone together. So we are planning that as well. And we spoke to Suzanne's brother, recently. It was right before she passed. And he's doing, listen, we're all in this together. We're celebrating this wonderful relationship that we all had with her, and that's the reciprocity and the sadness that you feel when you've had something so wonderful. Grief is a journey, take one day at a time. That is true. Yesterday, I just got agitated. Like, I think we all kind of, when you've been going, the moment you kind of sit still for a second, things were agitating me that that normally wouldn't. And I recognized it, and I was like, oh, you're irritated. That's not about this small issue. That is definitely about something else.
I can relate to that.
Yeah. So anyway, but we just wanted to come on and just today, just be with you guys. And I know, it's a process for all of us to mourn this and grieve it. And you guys spent a lot of time with her too. I know some of you, do need products, and I know we haven't been doing our normal sales or giveaways and things. So we just put up a Love 25, 25% off promo code on the site. So if you need your product, some of you have DM'd me. You're like, I'm not buying products without a promo code. So we put up Love 25. So until we get back on our feet next week, and start doing regular shows, we will, you guys can use that promo code.
For anything?
Anything that's not already discounted more than 25%. Daisy was supposed to be here with us today. She's in rehearsals and she wasn't able to make it, but she'll be here next week. And, you know, like I say, we're going to continue always celebrating and doing tributes to Suzanne. She's always going to be our founder. She's always going to be, you know, mother, grandmother, it's always going to be her site. You know, at this point, she is, her legacy is going to take over, and we're going to do our best to honor that always. So thanks for being with us, everyone. We're going to be back on Monday, and we're going to kind of get back. Is the Selects box still available? Yes, Jules, you have, I think, 4 more days on the October Suzanne Selects box. And a lot of you have been asking me about it because it has that love bracelet in it from Suzanne, that it was a birthday gift that she wanted to give to you guys, and it has her beautiful little love saying on it. So right now that is only available in the box, and the box is available through October 31st. I'm trying to see if I can order more of those love bracelets, but right now the only way to get it is in Suzanne Select. So if you guys want to make sure that you get that and you're not a member of Suzanne Selects, you can sign up. I do believe we have enough left to finish the next round of boxes. And if I can order another bracelet, if I can order more bracelets, I certainly will, because a lot of you. So yeah, Christine, ask customer service. Because a lot of you say you're wearing your bracelet every day. That's sweet. Well, you know what, Monday will be at 11 o'clock, and then Wednesday will be at 4, and then Friday at 4. So you know what Suzanne would say? She would say, it's not who you are, it's not what you have, it's not what you do. It's only about who you love and who loves you. And I love you. Thanks, you guys. We'll see you on Monday.
Thanks, guys.